Good morning, Canberra for Cam's Mortgage Minute for July the 16th, this fine Monday morning. We talk a lot about the Canadian housing market. Today I'm just going to talk to you briefly about the U.S. housing market. There's some new information that just came out and it says that the U.S. has finally moved beyond a correction or a downturn in the market, and maybe the market's finally stabilizing or hitting bottom. The pundits are citing a few different things and saying that after nearly 7 years, most of the indices of house prices are finally starting to head upward. Nearly 10% of more existing homes were sold in May than same month a year earlier, and a lot of the purchases were done by investors. And that's a good sign. Investors who were looking to either rent them or hold on to them for the future to flip them. The other thing that was interesting with it is that inventory levels have finally fallen close to normal levels of a 6-month supply, despite all the foreclosed homes that were out there, and that the fraction of homes that are now vacant is at an all-time low compared to since 2006. I guess basically not been lower since then. Builders also began to work on 26% more single-family homes in May 2012 than the year previous. Now, the other things that's certainly helping is that the interest rates are record lows in the U.S. 3.62 for a 30-year loan. I mean, that is phenomenally cheap. However, some of the things to keep in mind is from where the markets come from. It still remains 60% below the 2002 pre-bubble pace that it was on. The other thing is that home values account for $2 trillion in net worth for folks, and that's 25% less than it was in 2002 and basically half of what it was during the height of the market. So in other words, housing values have dropped nearly $2 trillion, that's a significant sum. The other thing that can happen is some things can still go wrong with us, even though things are finally looks like they're on the upturn. The bottom line is there's what's called shadow inventory. That's inventory or homes where owners won't put them on the market because of the fact that they're underwater, which means that they owe more than they're worth. And these foreclosed homes will eventually have to be put on the market by the lenders. How extensive this inventory is, nobody knows for sure, but we'll see what kind of effect that has. Plus also it's an election year in the U.S. Policy could change with respect to how foreclosures are treated. This could again have another impact. But all economists are hopeful that at least the housing market is not going to drag the U.S. economy down. That again remains to be seen because a lot can go wrong from here to there. But I tell you, I know in the U.S. it's been a long, narrow road, and it's been a very trying time for folks as far as values, properties, and everything else, and the economy is still very sluggish. So hoping that this bottom is truly a bottom and things eventually start changing. But again, it could take another few years, and it may take years before it comes back to where it was, and some are predicting it could be a decade before that happens. Anyway, some news from our friends south of the border. Just thought I'd share it with you, and tomorrow I'll see you again at Cam's Mortgage Minute.